So I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm trying to make a video where I actually show myself, and but I don't know, the sound is not very good. I have to yell, and it's just really annoying. So I'm just gonna make it a different way. Anyways, hopefully you can hear me. I don't really like to show my face, anyways, because I have anxiety, and like in person, I have really a big problem making eye contact, and then blushing is also a problem. I blush a lot. So I have to I take medication for it sometimes and it helps, but anyways, this microphone, I just got this camera and this microphone came with it, and it's apparently, it's not very good, or it's obviously not very good, or I just need to get a different camera. I mean, a different microphone. But anyways, just wanted to make a quick video because I didn't, well, I guess I clicked on a video on YouTube, and it was this one guy who was talking about anti-natalism, and he was saying basically just telling his listeners to not bother with anti-natalism because it's just you're just basically wasting your time if you're trying to do anything about it, because people are just gonna keep doing what they do, business as usual, and they're not really gonna listen to any of the arguments. And I would say that that's a really bad message to put out there. I mean, in my opinion, it's actually even dangerous. It's better to, if you don't want to participate, or if you don't want to say anything, then don't say anything. But why would you tell or encourage people not to do anything about it? I mean, what the fuck are they supposed to do then? Just get back to their, fucking silly lives and, get back to watching the finale of Game of Thrones or the Kardashians or what? I mean, it's not like people are doing anything that's edifying them. It's just people watching TV, eating, and I mean, people are just not really that imaginative or that creative. I mean, people have hobbies and shit, but I don't know. There's so much crap going on in the world, and I think more than ever now is the time to talk about this, put out the arguments, and make videos or talk to people if you can. Of course, safely. You don't want to You don't want to make people You don't want to ostracize yourself, and you don't want to be I don't know, isolated completely. You don't want to make enemies either, so I always just say, just be wise. But yeah, if like, and Eminem said in one of his videos that if you're just living your life for you, you're basically just wasting it. At the end of it, it's just not going to mean anything because you didn't do anything of true value, which is preventing harm. I mean, every single one of us as sentient beings has a ethical obligation to prevent harm, to try to minimize the suffering as much as we can and prevent it if possible. And so that's how we should live our lives. I mean, as our lives were imposed. We were forced to live, and unfortunately, many of us don't have maybe the best quality of life. But if you know that life, if you see life for what it is, if you've understood the message, then you have to do something about it. You can't just stay quiet. That's just, no. I mean, a lot of people just get really they have this defeatist attitude, and they're like, well, it's never going to go anywhere, people are not going to listen, whatever, it's just going to keep going. But you don't know what's going to happen down the road. You don't know, you don't have a glass ball where you can see what's going to happen. I mean, things could precipitate really quickly, and it'll make people be more receptive to the arguments. I mean, we live in times that are very, precarious, and there's a lot going on. Even democracies around the world are at stake. So I think people are more alert than ever, and I think the message is going to eventually surface, and it's going to be, the main message, or it's going to be an argument that's going to be considered valid. I do believe that. I think that it's just bound to happen. It has to happen. So I would say, don't be discouraged, even if it doesn't happen in your lifetime. It doesn't matter. First of all, anybody that you've persuaded or convinced, just even one person is good. The goal, of course, is to make the argument accessible to everybody, and have everybody listen to it. But like Eminem says, really the most important thing is to convince the smart people, the intelligent people. Because there's just, unfortunately in the world, there's a lot of people that are just going to reject the message out of pure selfishness or out of pure ignorance. They don't like the message because it doesn't suit them. It doesn't suit their delusions, so they're not going to accept it. And then the other thing that I wanted to add to this video is, again, I wanted to talk about just quickly about the difference between anti-natalism and ethylism, which is a rejection of life, because life is suffering. And on that note, I just don't understand why there are still people who are all for anti-natalism. Basically, they're all for humans not reproducing, but they don't take into account animals. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Like, you have to understand that we're not different. I mean, we're not that different. We're alike in many, many ways. Talk about sentient beings, skeletal structure. I mean, we eat, we poop, we sleep, we get infected by diseases, we're vulnerable, we're fragile, and just the list goes on. We're not, the only difference is we have language. Humans have language. I mean, there's other differences, of course, in forms and stuff, but it's not really that significant. I mean, the truth is that the only thing that matters is the ability to feel pain. We're all sensing machines, and we're sensing, and we're trying to avoid bad sensations. And all the machines are living in a world full of danger. So it's full of danger and full of death and destruction. And the truth is that if we had to choose between, either the extinction of humans or the extinction of animals, we would rationally have to choose the extinction of animals because the suffering is just compounded. It's a lot worse living in nature. And I'm not going to go into it, but it's just, it's true. I mean, it's a lot worse what they have to go through. Being eaten alive, I mean, how can you argue against that? It happens every day. It's like you grabbing your dog, putting it on the fucking dinner table, or yeah, putting it on a plate, and then just start to stick your fork in its bodies and its limb, and just, you know, and then with your knife just cutting piece by piece. I mean, the same thing is happening. Animals are using their tools, their sharp teeth and claws, to rip open, you know, skin and just start eating and dismembering animals alive. I don't want to be graphic, but I mean, it's just like, when are people going to fucking get it? It's not about, there shouldn't be a human extinction project. There should be a life extinction project, because, and it is true, if we had to choose between humans or animals, or all the animals going extinct, we would rationally have to choose the animals. You know, that would be the lesser of the two evils. And that would be the sensible choice. So that's just what I wanted to say about that.